How often should you train? This is kind of like very nuanced, and it really depends on, what your goals are and how old you are and, stuff of that nature. So I'm just going to try to go over as much as I can in this video. First off, what are your goals? For the sake of this video, I'm going to assume that your goals are to kind of increase your skill as fast as you possibly can, because if not, it doesn't really matter how much you train if you just do it for purely the sake of having fun. And then, yeah, of course, the answer to this is just as much as you possibly can. Since the more total hours you spend training for a week, the more opportunities you get to progress. And also stimulate muscle growth. Additionally, training more often will give you more time to spend on each specific trick. So, for example, you want to train like corks, fulls, and back tucks in a given week. Just a bunch of random, kind of very popular tricks. At only one session per week, let's be generous and say that's 3 hours. You're getting 1 hour of training for each of them, not counting stretching, not counting sitting around doing nothing because you're lazy. If you split that up into 2 sessions, you don't even necessarily have to train them more. You can have the same amount of time, but your sessions will be of higher quality because you'll have more rest time in between each repetition. All of this being said, you really do need to understand how much you can train though. If you're still sore from the previous session, don't train. It's not worth it, because if you're training while you're still sore, then you're breaking down your muscle fibers as they're recovering, so there's no point in doing that. Me personally, I'm usually sore 2 or 3 days after every single session. If I'm really feeling like training, I'll usually train on trampoline the day after, just because it's not nearly as physically taxing. But yeah, definitely don't train spring floor or grass when you're still exhausted from the last session. But yeah, if you're absolutely determined to train, the best thing to do is to just train on trampoline, because as I said, it's a lot less physically taxing. Personally, I like to train on my shit tramp for around 10 minutes a day at the very least, usually a lot longer than that. But the point is, I train almost every single day because it's barely physically taxing. If your legs are hurting, you can just do ball outs and Cody's, If you want to lessen the time it takes to recover, make sure you have your diet completely dialed in. That's one of the big things. Make sure you're getting enough protein. The average person needs 0.8 grams of protein. I think it's 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight for maximum recovery. But yeah, basically the faster you recover, obviously, the quicker you'll be able to get back to training. And with your protein, make sure you stick to mostly whole foods that won't cause inflammation. And then lastly, and I think most importantly, make sure you're getting enough sleep. You do by far the most recovery while you're sleeping. So getting a proper 8 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Obviously, it depends on how old you are and whatever. But getting enough sleep, you do all your recovery in sleep. So you're not going to recover if you don't sleep enough. Just kind of want to make this video because I've made the mistake of training when I wasn't ready to a lot. Like, even still, I'll make the mistake of just going to a session even though I'm super sore. Make sure you don't build up a dependence to painkillers for your training. If you're not able to recover from any kind of injury you have without the help of painkillers, then that's a problem, and you should probably go see a doctor or something. I know for a while with my shins, I was taking ibuprofen probably for every single session, because I was so miserable and I couldn't do anything. But yeah, you gotta rest. Like, I've only just started learning this lesson that I am not invincible and I cannot train every single day like I used to. Alright, thank you for watching this. I hope you learned something. If you did, make sure you like it and you subscribe. I have plenty of other tutorial-ish type videos like this on my channel. So if you're starting with your tricking journey, or you've been in your tricking journey for a while, I think it's valuable to subscribe. Bye.